Guy Miller, your chief market strategist at Zurich. The Brexit vote in the United Kingdom has sent shockwaves through the financial markets. How much time does it take to recover?
Well, that's a difficult one. I think what we've seen overnight is a game changer, frankly. I think it does take time. This has huge implications, not just from the UK economy, but for the European, the Eurozone economy as well, and globally as well. So I think financial markets will remain under pressure for some time. I think volatility will be high in the months ahead until there's clarity over what direction the political front is moving in, but also what the central banks and other financial players are doing to support financial stability.
Maybe some people now think about buying assets as markets are so low. Do you think, how risky is that? What's your thought on that?
I mean, I think it's purely speculative now, so it's very risky. I think people should only buy assets when they have a good understanding of what the driving forces behind that is. And I think currently we don't have that. We don't know what the impact is going to be from the political front. We don't know what the impact is going to be from central bank policy. And within that, even in the individual country or bond level or corporate level, we don't know what the implications are going to be there. So I think volatility will be high and caution should be looked at.
But do you think markets will not be that low as they have fallen as they are falling just in these minutes?
So on the first day, there's always a knee-jerk reaction. Liquidity in markets is also very important. So usually you get an overreaction and then markets stabilize over time. However, given the time zones across the world, given how important this vote is, I think we're likely to see a continued volatility for the days ahead. And I think it's going to take some months before investors feel confident enough to really deploy capital in a more constructive manner.
Now, the vote has clearly hit currencies. The pound is, of course, falling. The franc is now getting stronger. What will happen to the franc, in your view?
So the franc, the Japanese yen are now regarded as safe havens, as they have been throughout this financial crisis. And clearly there is money that has been gravitating towards the franc. However, the SNB have been very instrumental in intervening to suppress some of these moves. They're clearly going to be doing that today. And I think that will, I guess, cap the move higher in terms of the franc appreciation.
Britain is the fifth largest economy in the world. The vote must have some implication on the world economy. What do you think will be these implications?
I think they're profound. I mean, I think this vote shows you that people are unhappy with this low growth environment, the high levels of debt that are still outstanding, and the fact that their view that the political establishment are going to create something that is more meaningful has been undermined. So I think it does have an important impact in terms of the populist movements around the world. And I think the incumbent politicians have to do all they can to make sure that they can show they're listening to what their people are saying and are responding to that. That's, I think, a key message, particularly when we've got, for example, the Spanish election on Sunday, and we've got a constitutional vote in Italy coming up in October.
The Eurozone, of course, is hit as well because Britain is leaving the EU, which has in most of its countries the euro as its currency. What will the ECB do in the next days, the days ahead?
So this is critical. I think the global central banks are speaking to each other. They're going to provide abundant liquidity to the markets and to the banking sector. I think the ECB will also step up or front load their quantitative easing program, continuing to focus on buying credit. I think they'll also change their direction a little bit because bond yields more have fallen into negative territory. So the pool of assets that they can buy that are still yielding above negative 40 basis points has shrunk. So I think they have to review the capital key. I think they'll front load some of their purchases. They'll look towards more of the peripheral European economies to make sure spreads are contained, and they'll continue to be quite aggressive, I think, in the corporate credit sector.
Guy Miller, thank you very much for your insight.
Thank you.